Hello, I'm writing and rewriting a video about the Fediverse, but to try to get a posting schedule built and to tide you over as I try to figure out how to explain the Fediverse to you, I want to make a video about the bits of software and tech that I use, enjoy and would recommend to you little goblins, so strap in and strap on for this completely self-indulgent video.
Q.
So music players when you don't use streaming services are of course very important, but I don't use nor do I want to use something like a classic iTunes clone. What I do use instead is Q, which is a music player app that you run in your terminal in Linux, and it's so delightfully simple to use despite it being a TUI app. I run it in Cool Retro Term, which makes it look all cyberpunky. All you need to do is tell it where your music is and it organises it. It even has sound visualization and album art. It does the job, does it lightly, easily, and with minimal hassle as possible. Speaking of terminals,
Cool Retro Term.
I'm not one of those people who have opinions on terminal emulators, and for more serious work, I will just use console. But just for the vibes, I use Cool Retro Term, a terminal emulator that emulates old CRT monitors from the 1980s, or even just fantasy setups. There's no reason to use it other than it looks cool. I have used Nano on it when I did some coding, but I mostly use it for Q and C Matrix when I'm feeling cyberpunky. Talking of cyberpunk,
Signal.
okay, so here's the thing, everyone needs a secure form of messaging, but they also need it to be easy, even if it's just for your family or your group chats. Thing is, we have corporations and governments spying on you, and even if all you're doing is sending minion memes to each other, it's still a good idea to have your shit end-to-end encrypted and secure because you do not know who's watching, even if your service says it's secure. Looking at you, WhatsApp. Signal is an open source messaging app that is trusted by pretty much everyone from politicians, journalists, activists, people living in totalitarian regimes, security people, you name it. If the government tries to stop you using Signal, it can reroute the traffic through Tor. It's not bare bones either. It features all the things the normies of the world would want, from downloadable sticker packs, group chats, video calls, voice messaging, and even a stories feature, as well as easily changeable usernames, QR codes for contacts. Also, the camera has the ability to blur faces and objects. Seriously, get on Signal and get your family and friends on Signal. Also, please donate to them. They are doing great work and they are basically the best messaging app out there.
Cool Maps.
I'm a girly girl with a girly secret. If I tell it to you, promise that you'll keep it. I'll tell you now. My little secret is.
I prefer OpenStreetMaps to Google Maps, 100%. Not only do I find it more up to date and detailed, I like the fact that I can contribute to it myself if anything does change. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Google Maps. York Place tram stop closed in 2022 and it still shows up on Google Maps. Fix your shit. But here's the thing, OSM does not have an official app and leaves that up to the community, which is where CoMaps comes in. CoMaps lets you download the map for your area, so even if you lose signal, you still have a map on your phone. On top of that, it doesn't track you, is energy efficient, and has features like GPS track creation that saves to your phone if you want to make a note of your route if you are, say, on a run or tracing a route or something. It's a great app if you're going out the doors to touch some grass, be that in your local park or your national park.
VLC.
VLC does not need any introduction. Zero, zilch, nada. It is the GOAT of all media players, and it's one of the apps you install right after setting up your system, and it plays literally anything. But how do I use it? On my mobile phone as a music player, because it works as a solid, accessible music player on your phone if you do not stream music like I do. Seriously, it's a great way to play your portable music library. If you aren't using VLC, then what the hell is wrong with you?
KD Plasma.
Okay, so this is not an app. This is a desktop environment. Yes, I use a desktop environment, not a window manager like Elite Hacker, and of all the different desktop environments, I used KDE Plasma. KDE's whole ecosystem is goated with well-made, fully featured apps like KDE and Krita, but their flagship has got to be the desktop. Back when I was a teen, I wasn't a fan of KDE as it was back then, but when I came back to Linux, I found that the whole desktop got 110% cooler and more customizable, so now I use it in a way that someone might not know that it is actually just KDE that's just been modified a whole bunch.
Proton.
Again, this is not an app, but here's the thing. When the UK introduced the OSA, I realised that I needed a VPN, and Proton is what I went for. Not just for the VPN, but for email, authentication, passwords, calendar and cloud storage. Why? Well, for one, it is good value for money, even at its monthly rate. But also because it allows me to de-Google, which is something I think more people should do. Is Proton perfect? No, no suite is. But is a hell of a lot better than Google and is focused on security and privacy, which is something I can't really say for Google. So yeah, Proton, use it.